Good evening สวัสดีครับ Welcome to Thai PBS World I'm เทพชัยยอง
สวัสดีค่ะอำนัทธากมลวาทิน We bring Thailand to the world and we bring the world to Thailand and we have keep you updated with politics in Thailand.
That's right. So the big question whether or not the election will be postponed or delayed, the question has been partially resolved today, and now there is a strong possibility that the election, which has been scheduled for the 24th of February, that is next month, is going to be delayed. But another question is by how long is something that we need to wait for a more clearly answer.
Yes, so probably we will have to discuss the new timeline of the election date, which still not conclusive yet. So we have to wait for the clear confirmation.
I think the strongest signal, indicating that the election will be delayed, came from a meeting today between Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Wisnu Krungam and the 7 election commissioners. The main topic on the meeting today, which lasted about 2 hours, was the schedule of the election and all the activities related to it. Dr. Wisnu later came out to tell reporters that his mission today was to inform the election commission of all the activities related to the coronation ceremony for His Majesty the King Vajiralongkorn. And the government certainly doesn't want to see the election schedule clash with these activities. And so the decision how to delay the elections by how long or when the next election or the election will be rescheduled for when is something that Dr. Wisnu said is up to the election commission to decide.
Yes, it will be the responsibility of the election commission. But today he gives so much detail of the coronation ceremony, and it means that it has the clear timeline that it will happen. So up until now, what he said is the election cannot probably happen on 24th of February, which is the set date up until now. So it means that we have to wait for confirmation from the election commission whether it will be postponed.
So that means the original timeline that we have been talking about for the past few months is no longer valid. Now we take a look at the new timeline, following today's latest development.
Yes, let's take a look.
We want to emphasize that even though we know for quite certain that the election will be delayed or postponed, but nobody can say at the moment when the new election date will be.
Yes.
So all these items in this timeline are still tentative.
Yes. So we have to put question marks on whether the election date will be postponed, and if postponement happen, when it will be the next election.
But what is certain is that Dr. Wisnu Krungam emphasized that the election has to be held before the coronation. They cannot be held after the coronation. That's what he tried to emphasize today.
Yes, and the coronation date is scheduled to happen on May the 4th until May the 6th of this year. But it means so much ceremony will happen along the line of the coronation. And as far as we know, is Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn will chair a government-appointed committee to oversee preparation for the coronation of His Majesty the King.
And if we look at the new political timeline, the election results have to be announced within 16 days after the polling was done.
Yes.
And then don't forget the fact that there's to be the selection of senators, right? And according to this new timeline, the selection of senators has to be completed within 3 days after the election results are announced. So the MPs election and the Senate selection are closely related.
With the date 24th of February, the set date so far for the election date, so right now there is so much speculation which perhaps the postponed election date can happen on 24th of March, and then the election outcome can probably coming out on 24th of May, but this is speculation. Nothing is conclusive yet.
And then if we stick to the new timeline, then His Majesty the King will preside over the inaugural session of the Parliament within 15 days after the announcement of the selection of the senators.
Yeah, so that's what's gonna happen, which we show you the prospect of the timeline of the election. But again, we have to wait for the clear confirmation from Election Commission.
And then all these developments will be followed by the appointment of the Parliament President and the Senate Speaker. And of course, the much awaited appointment of the Prime Minister,
yes,
that will come afterward. So these are basically the items in the new timeline.
Yes.
That of course are subject to possible changes, because we still need to wait for the confirmation of the new election date.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, that there has been a lot of speculation as to how long the election will be delayed. Some of the media outlets today, speculated that it could delay by about a month. So that means that the election will be, according to this speculation, the election will be held on the 24th of March.
Yes, and the outcome can probably happen on 24th of May. So it means 24th of March, and then 2 months later we will know the result. But everything is up in the air at the moment, up until we hear more conclusive confirmation from the Election Commission.
Dr. Visanu tried very much to emphasize that fixing the new date for the election is the prerogative of the Election Commission. He tried to distance the government from this issue because there has been a lot of speculation that the Election Commission has been under pressure,
yes,
political pressure, to postpone the election date. But Dr. Visanu tried to emphasize that it's up to the Election Commission to decide when the election will be held.
Yes, so it's very interesting development for this new year, Kun Thepchai, because if we take a look yesterday with some post or some status updated on Facebook, we can see some comments of some people, prominent figure in Thailand, mentioning in regarding to the election, when or how it should happen. This is coming from Dr. Athit Urairat. Regarding the election, he said, therefore, before such a great auspicious occasion for the country and the people, there should not be an election, because it would be a root cause of conflicts, disunity, and irreconciliation. Besides, the electoral rules are not democratic enough for Thailand. That was the comment before Dr. Visanu Kruyangam came out today to have a press conference regarding the coronation ceremony, and probably the Election Commission will have to make a decision.
Now, besides Dr. Athit Urairat, who used to be a very prominent political figure, there have been also a number of other people, including political groups, that have come out to ask for the election to be postponed for various reasons. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and we see some feedback from Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha regarding some of the comments that have happened yesterday. Especially his feedback toward Dr. Athit Urairat is petitioning for the election to be postponed is something inappropriate. He's a Puyai who should know what is appropriate and what is not.
He's probably trying very hard to distance himself from any move or any attempts to delay the election. Okay, because General Prayut has been emphasizing all along that he will stick to the roadmap.
Yes.
And the roadmap is understood to include the 24th of February as the election date.
Yes.
So it will be interesting to see how he would respond to the rest developments about the election date being postponed. Yeah.
Yes, and up until now, he still hasn't announced what his stance will be regarding the election. So we still have to keep looking for clear stance from General Prayut Chan-o-cha. But regarding the atmosphere of political atmosphere at the moment, the word national government is being mentioned quite a lot.
Yeah, no, but before we go to that step, there has been another interesting development as far as the alignment of political parties are concerned, and as far as certain parties concerning the figures of people that would be nominated as the potential candidate for Prime Minister. And amid all this uproar, there is this name, Dr. Chachat Sithipan, right?
Yes.
A former transport communications minister under the Yingluck government. All of a sudden, he has been a prominent figure for quite some time, but all of a sudden, he just has emerged as the most potential to become a top candidate as the prime minister candidate for the Pheu Thai Party.
And interestingly, let's take a look at his Facebook post just today, announcing that it's final battle, and that is his own image in the middle as the leader of Avenger. He's being seen as husk. And if you look closer, you would see a woman, a lady behind him, which look very much like Kun Sudarat Keyurapan. I don't know whether this is the implication or confirmation that he would be the top list of the party list of Pheu Thai Party.
It's no secret that there has been some kind of a rivalry between Chachat and Kun Ying Sudarat Keyurapan, who is the chairwoman of the strategy committee of the party. Of course, we can be sure that both of them want to be the top contender for the prime ministership, right?
Yeah.
But it looks like Kun Ying Sudarat may have to make way for him.
Yes.
Because in a sort of remark to reporters yesterday, she said something like, we two can work together in the party, as if suggesting that she would not object to Kun Chachat being nominated as the top contender for the premiership.
Yeah, but she didn't even say yes that Kun Chachat will be at the top of the list or the first party list member of Pheu Thai Party, but he just said that they are ready to work in tandem, working together to support each other.
Insiders in Pheu Thai Party claim that an opinion survey was conducted, and it turned out that Chachat would stand a better chance of winning in the election than Ying Sudarat. So that's why his name just popped up in this manner. Kun Chachat, until recently, he was an executive of a real estate company, and before that, he was a lecturer in engineering of Chulalongkorn University.
Yes.
Before joining Pheu Thai Party and became communications minister, and for a while, he was quite popular among his admirers. Voters who supported Pheu Thai Party.
Especially among young voters, there is speculation or prediction that he is quite attracted by young voters or first-time voters, or perhaps that's part of the decision making inside Pheu Thai Party to put him on the top of the list as the party list member. And Kun Thepchai, up until now, perhaps we can see the list of prime minister of at least Prajadhipok, Democrat Party, and Pheu Thai Party.
So these are sort of a preliminary list of potential candidates as prime minister. So things can change because from now on, because nothing is certain yet. I think most of the party are still trying to get their own houses in order. So trying to settle on who would be nominated as prime minister candidates. Is one major issue that they have to thrash out before the election day comes.
But prime minister candidate is very crucial because it will support the voter to select which party that they would choose in the election. So we'll have to see which party will put whom on the prime minister list.
All right, and amid all these uncertainties, all of a sudden there emerged a speculation about a government of national unity. Right?
Yes.
That would encompass major parties. That are supposed to be able to work together to set up a coalition after the election.
Yes, and that means working together between at least Democrat Party and Pheu Thai Party. And someone asked Kun Abhisit on this very idea, whether he think it would be probable. And he said, let's compete in the election first and then discuss national government later. That's response from Kun Apisit Vechachiwa.
No, there is certainly an idea amongst some of the political parties that want to see major parties join hands after the election. The idea is to prevent General Prayut Chan-o-cha from becoming Prime Minister. These parties, these politicians believe that to return to democracy, I mean, the next Prime Minister should be someone who is elected person, MP, not just someone who just came out of nowhere or trying to use the constitutional loopholes to become a Prime Minister.
Yeah, so that's another issue that is coming up just recently with the national government. So we shall see whether it's probable with Thai politics. Now let's hear directly from Professor Dr. Stithorn Thananithichot, political analyst from King Prajadhipok Institute. สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์ Stithorn
สวัสดีครับ
Yes, with the election which is full of speculation at the moment, how do you see the atmosphere of politics if the election have to be postponed?
Well, yeah, we now come back to the uncertainty situation again when the election day should be. So after the meeting with the media by the Deputy Prime Minister Visnu Keurngam, it's a bit clear that the election day must be under the roadmap. It means it should be held within the 150 days after the full organic law effective. So should be no longer than the 9th of May. So we can expect that the election may be postponed maybe for 1 or 2 weeks, no longer than that.
So you think it perhaps can be postponed, but no longer than 2 weeks, but we will have to wait for confirmation from Election Commission?
Yes. Because it's quite clear that the government needs the Election Commission to be sure that the announcement of the election result can be complete before the coronation. So by the end of April, the election result should be announced. And after that, according to the law, within 15 days, there must be the first meeting of the new parliament under the current constitution. So if the election result can be announced by the end of April, we can expect that the date about 7 or 8 of May might be the best choice for the king to open the new parliament. So that day should be the first meeting of the parliament under the current constitution.
Do you think it's too soon that someone has mentioned national government?
Yes, because now the factor of the politics after the election is more complicated. When we have to think of the coronation date, we may think more about harmony and peaceful politics. So now the idea to form the national coalition government come up again. And if we the Thai people agree that the atmosphere before the coronation should be harmonized and peaceful, so why political party might compete in this election more friendly and join hand in hand to make the peaceful politics, peaceful election. So reduce the passion to be win in the election and think about if necessarily we could form the government together.
I see.
Forget what we have conflict in the past, something like that.
Yeah, but do you yourself see the possibility of politicians from different parties joining hands to set up a national coalition government? You see that possibility?
Yes, and that's what one of my prediction, because as we know about the competition among the party that now already divided into 3 major groups, and it is very hard for one group to gain the popularity after the election as one major party, one majority party to be formed by itself. So they need a coalition government, and by a coalition government, if they do not open their mind to the opposite side, their coalition government might be very weak, because they can collect only 250 plus 10 or 20 members. So they have a very small amount of House of Representative member, that over than the simple majority of the House. So their government cannot be stable in the long run. So if they open their mind and invite some other part of their opposition to join the government, the government can run more longer.
I see. In your analysis about the possibility of a national coalition government, is General Prayut Chan-o-cha in the picture also? Is he in the picture?
Yes, if he nominated by the Palang Pracharat Party, and the Palang Pracharat Party can achieve that goal by win in the election with 126 seats, and that amount is higher than Democrat Party.
I see.
So with this kind of condition, it makes Palang Pracharat as the second place after election and have some legitimacy to form the government, competing to the Pheu Thai camp.
And that would be quite a challenge for the party then.
Yes, it's challenging. But according to the poll, some polls said Palang Pracharat increased their popularity very much during the past few weeks.
I see.
So does it mean if the election is postponed, it will even more benefit to Palang Pracharat Party?
I think it benefits to all parties because they have more time for the campaign, and if they know early about the date for the election, so they can prepare when they should announce their official policy, when they should announce their candidate to the public, and many things they can plan effectively.
I see. All right.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Stithorn, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So this is quite a challenge for the Palang Pracharat Party to win up to 120 seats in the election to qualify as a kingmaker for the coalition after the election. And that means that it will have to be bigger than the Democrat Party. And quite interestingly, because Kun Abhisit Vechachiwa, the Democrat Party leader, has just put his job on the line. He declared early this week that if the Democrat Party doesn't win more than 100 seats in the election, then he is willing to quit as the party leader. So in a way, he wants to express his confidence that the Democrat Party will win big in this coming election. And on the other hand, he may want to show that he would be responsible for a misfortune of the party if that is the case.
Yes, but this is not the first time that Kun Abhisit Vechachiwa offered to resign from his post as leader of the Democrat Party, but it tends to be the case that members of the party hold his decision not to resign from his post. So we have to wait and see until election. Yeah,
because in the last election in the year 2011, the Democrat Party won as many as 160 seats in the election, but yet was not able to set up a government because the Pheu Thai Party won a much bigger number of seats. So Kun Abhisit wants to prove that he will revive this party's fortunes in this election.
Yeah, so that's the landscape of Thai politics as far as we can see up until now. So we have to wait for confirmation from Election Commission whether the election date will be postponed, and if so, when it will be election date, and what's the, in terms of working together between different parties, what's going to happen, whether Palang Pracharat Party will be joining with Democrat parties or national coalition government will be happening after election. So that's equation up in the air.
No, but on another front, Thailand is also have another big challenge.
Yes.
Because starting just early this week, on the 1st of January, Thailand is formally and fully has become the chairman of ASEAN for the next 1 year.
Yeah, it means now the mission has officially begun for Thailand, and how Thailand has been prepared to take this post as the chair of ASEAN for 2019. Let's hear from Kun Butsadi Santipitak, Director General of Ministry of Department of Information, Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
The preparations towards Thailand assuming the chairmanship of ASEAN in 2019, progress has been made in terms of preparation. We have a national committee that's undertaking all the tasks related to our ASEAN chairmanship next year. The Prime Minister is chairing the national committee, and there are 4 subcommittees under this national committee comprising of various different government agencies and all the relevant stakeholders and partners taking in this preparation process. It can be divided into substantive preparations, into public awareness and media communications, in terms of protocol, and as well as logistics preparations to ensure that our chairmanship will be successful in all its aspects.
And what is exact date that would mean official beginning of Thailand as the next chairmanship of ASEAN?
Yes, officially the chairmanship for Thailand will begin on the 1st of January 2019, and it will end on the 31st of December of the same year. But on the 15th of November this year, on the last day of the meeting of the ASEAN Summit and the related summit meetings in Singapore, which will take place between the 13th and 15th of November in Singapore, on the 15th itself, His Excellency General Prayut Chan-o-cha, the Prime Minister, will be taking over the chairmanship. There will be a handover of the chairmanship from Singapore to Thailand on the 15th of November. It's the official handover ceremony
on Rohingya and South China Sea. What do you think the role of Thailand should be in order to cope or to manage on these very two subjects?
The two issues that you have mentioned, we of course attach importance to. Of course, in the past few decades, we were closely monitoring the Korean Peninsula as well as one key issue. But of course, right now there seems to be positive developments in that area, but we still have to continue to ensure that the momentum is maintained. But in terms of South China Sea, I think there has been significant developments, particularly with the agreement of ASEAN and China to discuss, negotiate, and of course agree on the elements of the Code of Conduct on the Regional Code of Conduct on the South China Sea. So I think this is very important, but for Thailand, because we are not a claimant state, so we support all processes, dialogue, all negotiations that would lead to peaceful settlement of the disputes. It's a maritime dispute, so we hope that all the claimant states will be able to find acceptable solutions in terms of legal, but diplomatic process in terms of giving support to the negotiations and dialogue is very important. For Thailand, we only wish that the South China Sea would be a sea of prosperity, of peace, of prosperity and sustainable development, especially in marine protection, marine environmental protection as well, because there's so much resources there. For the issues in the Rakhine State, I think it's an issue that has been in discussion amongst the ASEAN member states. We have the ministers, the leaders have been given briefings by the Myanmar representatives continuously. So we wish to support any dialogue or process within Myanmar. At the same time, other elements in the regional framework, the establishment within Myanmar about the Commission on Inquiry, we look forward to hearing progress from them. And I think there are other forum taking place within the UN and so on, or the bilateral arrangements and dialogue process going on between Bangladesh and Myanmar. So all of this I think is very important. For Thailand, we wish to be a good neighbor. We wish to support the dialogue process, and we wish to offer our own experience in terms of long-term development cooperation.
How do you like to encourage Thai population, Thai people to be good hosts for this very important event?
I think for the Thai community, Thai people, ASEAN is a cornerstone of the Thai foreign policy, and of course it's not something new for any Thais. We often talk about ASEAN. Most people, I think, are becoming more aware about ASEAN. There's more mobility in terms of traveling to each other's country, learning more about each other. You see intercultural communication. You see people learning each other's languages more. You see ASEAN people working together in different surroundings. So I think for Thailand, each and every Thai can join us, the government, the public sector, to become good hosts when there is, because of the so many meetings that will take place, and all these meetings will take place all over Thailand. So the different provinces will be able to join us in becoming good hosts. So we hope that in a small way, in every way, that the Thais will be warm, hospitable hosts for all the delegates coming to Thailand.
So these are some of the challenges awaiting Thailand as the chairman of ASEAN for the next 1 year.
Yes, the full 363 more days that we have to be host for ASEAN this year. And right now, the south of Thailand has to be prepared for tropical storm Pa Buk, which is very high speed at the moment. So let's take a look at what's happening in the south of Thailand. So it's Pa Buk, or tropical storm. It making its way toward the country. And Thailand has to be prepared for mitigate extreme weather condition, because we are facing tough taste from tropical storm Pa Buk. It is expected that area in the storm path will suffer damages from strong gales and intense downpour of up to 300 millimeters, while it is expected to stir waves as high as 7 meters in the Gulf of Thailand. According to the Meteorological Department's 8th warning, the storm was currently moving toward westward at the speed of 10 kilometers per hour and has already entered the Gulf of Thailand. Its maximum wind speed was 65 kilometers per hour at the time. It's very fast. And the storm appeared to have already hit the southernmost part of Thailand yesterday afternoon, as a large band of heavy rain was detected by the Meteorological Department's radar in Narathiwat province. And the Met Department Director General said, considering the current wind speed and direction, the storm will move into the Gulf of Thailand, past Got Samui, and directly hit the coast of Surat Thani or Chumphon provinces tomorrow.
So large areas in the coastal provinces of Nakhon Si Thammarat, Surat Thani, Chumphon, and Prajadhipok will be directly hit by the tropical storm Pa Buk. And one of the spots that would be most vulnerable to the storm is an area known as the Lam Talumpuk in Nakhon Si Thammarat. It's interesting because 57 years ago, this exactly same spot was hit by another tropical storm, a very big one, and hundreds of people were killed, and hundreds more, just went missing. So for people living in this area, it's a deja vu, not a very present one. And they were prepared for the worst. So a lot of people, thousands of people living along the coast have been evacuated for safety's sake, and nobody knows for sure how what impact from this tropical storm will be.
Yes.
But everybody is preparing for the worst.
Yes, very strong wind and high wave, which could be as high as 7 meters. We can imagine perhaps it's 4 or 5-story building. And as far as I heard, this time people are quite well prepared because of shared information on social media.
That's true.
And that's helped people in terms of preparation. So in some people in provinces of Phetchaburi, Prajawap Khiri-Khan, Chumphon, Surat Thani, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Pathalung, Songkhla, Pattani, Yala, Narathiwat, Ranong, Phanga, Phuket, Krabi, Trang, and Stun have to be prepared for heavy downpour and strong gales tonight.
And of course, if you are a tourist, you are advised to stay away from those areas.
Yes.
At least for the next few days.
Yeah, and as Kun Thepchai mentioned, tonight we have to be keeping close watch at Lam Talumpuk. And you can follow all the developments from the Thai PBS News. So that's all we have time for now for Thai PBS World Tonight.
Okay.
And we'll meet you again next week. Thank you and สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ